First of all, welcome everyone. Oh, hang on. Welcome everyone to our Zoom today. We have people from all over the world joining us, and it is an honor to have you for these next few minutes to encourage you in your businesses. Mondays are our training day. That is a day that we learn more about our business. We learn more about the opportunity. We hear from people that are doing it very well. And sometimes even people outside our own industry have come on and trained and shared on how to build a successful network marketing business. And now not just in South Africa, but it's going to be all over the world. That opportunity is coming very, very, very soon to South Africa and all of the Cone of Africa, and then moving into Nigeria. And so we're so excited about the fact that we can be anywhere in the world and build in almost 80 different countries. That's pretty astounding. This opportunity, this huge merge that's happening officially on the 3rd of July around the world. And then the launch of Africa, we believe and pray for, hopefully shortly thereafter. And so I've been on this journey for the last year, building, getting ready for this huge opportunity. We now have thousands of reps. Congratulations to all you guys. That is so awesome. That just means you are working very hard. You're locking people in their spot. You're getting them ready so that when those products are launched. And if you heard from Deanna Latson, I believe it was wasn't it last week she was on? No, she was absolutely extraordinary. If you didn't hear the Zoom, get with the person that invited you, your upline, and make sure you get that link. But she talked about the products that are coming to South Africa and to maybe all of Africa. And it's only it's the hero line, which is the first dispensation. That means more's coming. But this is getting you ready. So make sure that you hear that Zoom. But with no further ado, one of the things that I love about NewAge in our business is that we can pull from a plethora of different people that have expertise in different areas. Nobody knows everything about everything, right? Some people think they do, but I don't think they do. And so I know it's really, really important to get people on that can talk from different perspectives. They can see things that you and I haven't seen. Maybe they have a little more history. Maybe they know a little bit more about their products, or they've been in the business a little bit longer, or maybe they're corporate. Maybe there's someone in the business that is actually on a corporate level. And that is Dan. And I've had the privilege, actually, the first time I met Dan, I couldn't believe he told me he had been in network marketing for 25 years because he looks 12. I was like, you look 12. You cannot have been in this 25 years. And he is a very handsome young man. He is married. He has beautiful children. He has a very significant background in network marketing. And he worked for one of our brands, Miranda Noni. And I know that Noni, many of you have already tried it in South Africa. And that is where I believe, and he might correct me on this, but he cut his teeth, and he's been loyal to that company for many, many different reasons. But what I love is that he just joined our company. Sorry, I just had a call coming in this merge. And so he is in that process of figuring out what that feels like what we are doing right now with the whole launch happening. He's been doing that with the team as well. And I believe he's got some wisdom to share with us as we launch South Africa, as we launch Nigeria, how NewAge is a company you can believe in, a company that will stand with you, a company that will support you where the reps are first. And so without further ado, Dan, welcome to our Zoom. We're so glad you're on.
Hey, thank you for that introduction, Tammy. Hey, can you hear me okay, first of all? Everybody?
I can.
You guys
I can hear you great.
Well, good evening to all of you who are overseas in Africa. And thank you for that wonderful introduction. And thank you for the opportunity to just be here to be able to speak with you guys. My name's Dan Calley, as the introduction was. I've been with Miranda Noni for 23 years. Tammy, I know I do not look 12, but I tell you, in a lot of ways, I act like I'm 12. So,
Oh,
so
maybe
part of
that
that
was
is
it.
actually very true. I act what my perceived age actually is. But I did not start my job, my career here when I was 12. I started when I was 21, 22. Well, I probably shouldn't give you guys all those numbers. You can do math just as good as I can. So whatever. I started 23 years ago, just as a little college job. I was working my way through school and got this job as just like a part-time gig. I speak Spanish fluently, so the company was looking to fill an afternoon Spanish speaking customer service slot, and that's how I started. And it's actually really kind of an interesting story. So I started with Noni, and if you've tried Noni, Noni's not, we've never marketed Noni for its taste particularly. It's an amazing, amazing product, but it's not one of those products that jumps off the shelf at you like, oh my gosh, I could just guzzle this all day long for most people. Um, my first day on the job, I walked in and kind of the orientation process, they handed us all a little glass of Noni and had us drink it. And I almost gagged. Like my first day on the job, I almost spit it back out and I thought I was going to get fired because I thought, oh, what is this that we sell? Are you guys kidding me? This is a product. And I still kept my job and worked because it was a fun job. And, and about a year later, I fell in love with the product because I had my own product experience. And you know, we can all do a lot of things in our lives. There's so many products out there that you can sell. There's so many companies that you can participate in, and I was very fortunate to work for a company that sold the product that had amazing health benefits, and I fell in love with it because it worked for me. Just a quick little story: as a college student, I came down with mononucleosis, which is, we call it mono in the United States, and it's got these old little wives' tales. I know everybody kind of thinks that mono is like this kissing disease or something like that. I'm not really sure if I can really, I'm not going to speak to what what mono really is or how you get it, but I got it and it wiped me out. Like I actually withdrew that semester from school. Like I couldn't even go to class. I took 2 weeks off of work and finally was able to start working again. But I had been working for the company for a year, hearing people's testimonials about this amazing product, Tishanoni juice. And at that point in my life, I was like, oh, shoot, I'll try anything. Have you guys ever felt like that? Like you have that health crisis in your life and you're like, just somebody give me something that's going to work for me. And so I started drinking Tishanoni juice religiously at that point. And my personal testimonial of it is I was able to actually complete a marathon with about 4 months after my mono diagnosis, which is really difficult to do because you just don't have any energy to do anything when you have mono. And I was able to start running and training after about a month after my diagnosis. And then, yeah, like 3 to 4 months later, ran a marathon. And I've just been in love with it ever since. I love the stories. I love the experience with the products. I love the company. The people are amazing. Like some of my lifelong friends are within the industry now and within our company. And it's just been a beautiful experience for me. I'm not one that really loves a lot of change in my life. How many of you guys can attest to that? Like change is hard. Right now, we've been going through some interesting changes as a company. I'm telling you, we're not done changing for the sake of growing our business. There will be many more changes along the way. So I'm having to get comfortable being uncomfortable with change, which is kind of difficult for me. But I actually really do enjoy this marriage, this blended family that we've been blessed with. It really is a blessing. I mean, some of the people that I've been able to meet within the last year have just been a joy to work with. Tammy, your team, your group, Anthony, Erika, I'm just meeting you for the first time. You're lovely. And your whole organization is incredible. So I look forward to just many opportunities of getting to know more people here in the United States, but also internationally. And this is just a treat for me to be able to work or to be on this call with you guys internationally. Before I share my message with you guys, I want to just give a quick shout out to Mr. Craig DeBrain from South Africa. I have gotten to know Craig over the last year or so. He's an incredible leader and he's an incredible person. And some of the leadership that he's done there has been just tremendous. One of the things that I actually just mentally wrote down in my brain when I heard Craig talk for the first time about doing business in South Africa, and it's showing up with the products that you guys are getting, is he said, I don't want some company from the United States telling South Africans or Africans what products they should be selling to people. I want products for that South Africans want to sell to each other. And it's not going to be this push of a product offering for people over there like, hey, take this American made product. No, we want products that you guys want that are going to work for you and your customer base. And I think that is such a great shift, because most companies don't operate like that. Most companies, and even Mirinda for 23 years, if I'm going to be honest, we operated that way. We had this amazing singular product that we thought everybody in the world should drink. And it actually is, it worked really well that way. But all the other products that we were creating as kind of secondary products, we were pushing those out to markets that probably didn't really want them to begin with. So I think it's great, a localized leadership team there in Africa, creating products that you guys want and are wanting, and your customers are wanting. So mad shout out to Craig. He's an awesome leader. About a week ago, I was with this team, and I thought it actually kind of worked out really great. I got an email Monday morning a week ago, and it was from Brent and from our corporate leadership, Brent Willis. And it was basically just a single sheet. I'll hold it up. I don't know if you guys can see it. And Tammy, I think I emailed this to you. So if you want to share this with the team, basically our NewAge values and operating principles. A funny story about this, before I go into story reading mode, we had somebody fly in from another company that we were hosting at our corporate office. And as we usually do when people fly in, we try and book Mark Wilson, Fred if he's around, Brent Willis if he's around. And it just so happened that it aligned where Brent was in our office. And so we invited him in to meet this individual who did, yes, later enroll with us and is just getting launched. But when he was in the room, he brought his laptop in, and it was almost like he was it's this moment of transparency from the CEO of our company. He was working on this document when he walked into the room. And as he started to talk to this person, he's like, well, I'm just going to read this. Like it's kind of he was still kind of writing it all. And so this comes from our CEO. He bounces it off of people, both internally within the corporate office, to brand partners that are with us. He even bounced it off of somebody who hadn't even yet joined our company, which that was kind of an anomaly type situation. I thought it was kind of interesting, but he read this and we gave him some instant feedback, and he's probably made some adjustments since then because it doesn't read the same way as it did that day. But this is from Brent. This is from the CEO of our company. I actually really love what these values stand for, because for me, like I said, there's a lot of things we can all go do. There's a lot of products we can sell. As a corporate employee, there's a lot of companies I could go work for. But for me, it's important to align myself with the right group, with the right company, with the right messaging, because life's a little too short for just to go out and sell something that you don't feel good about, or to align yourself with people that you don't really have a good feeling about. So these things matter to me as a corporate employee. Anyway, there's 5 values and operating principles that Brent outlined for everybody. And I know I don't know if this makes for good Zoom presentations or not for me to just start reading. So hopefully I can read this to you and maybe interject some thoughts and stuff so I can keep it kind of lively. The first value and operating principle is we go big. And this totally sounds like a Brent thing to say, by the way. We go big in everything we do, and always ask why not, and why not us. We employ a transformational mindset and display the courage and the perseverance to accomplish whatever we set our sights on achieving. We go big and disrupt every day and in every way, are never content with the status quo, and always look for new ways to approach new opportunities. Going big is not just about being the biggest, even though Brent is adamant on being the biggest. He wants to be bigger than Amway, and I actually think he's going to get us there. It's not about being the biggest. We want more. embodying our purpose to change the world and to enjoy the journey along the way. We have to enjoy the ride along the way, right? We never compromise. We never compromise in what we do or how we do it. The quality, efficacy, and health of our products are above reproach. They combine the best of science and nature. I can't even say this word. Technologically advanced, superior in quality, sustainably and transparently sourced. You guys heard from Deanna last week. This resonates very strongly with what she's about. We also never compromise in our beliefs and the ways in which we operate. We always choose the harder right versus the easier wrong, and are value-centric in all we do. We offer no compromises, and we submit no excuses, not now, not ever. Point number 3, we share ownership. We share ownership in all we create and believe in advancement through collaboration. We win and share in our success as a team and act and think as fellow owners. Owners are candid, direct, and forthright, but also respectful with each other and leave nothing unsaid, unresolved, or unanswered. We speak up and step in without reservation, but we also listen empathetically and are never content with the half-truth when the whole truth can be won. Owners focus on what matters, and in our case, that always entails supporting our brand partners and always putting them first. That last statement I got goosebumps even as I read it. I've read this like multiple times and it's still giving me goosies. All right, we are accountable. We're accountable for everything we say and do, and for everything that happens or fails to happen within our areas of responsibility. We measure what matters. We are metric driven and are disciplined in our thinking and approach, and are results oriented. We are process oriented and after action, everything for continuous improvement and to put results in statistical control. For superior performance, we offer superior rewards and are generous. Failure is not an option, so we do whatever it takes to accomplish the mission and choose to either lead, follow, or get the heck out of the way. I think we edited out a couple of words there from when Brent originally wrote that. So, but I love that. I love that we don't have a problem just getting out of the way of the field. Oh man, that's a big one for me personally. The last one is probably my favorite one, and that is we live family. We have fun with each other. You have to, right? We work hard and embrace the grind. We celebrate each other and carry each other forward, leaving no man or woman behind. We lead, teach, grow, and build world-class teams and inspire each other to greatness. We provide constant, positive, and constructive reinforcement to optimize performance and care of each other and the health of our company. And I love this last part. We like all good people, family-oriented and balanced people, and accept and cherish all our differences and embrace diversity in all respects. We love our extended family and are in the moment at every moment. And hopefully that doesn't get, I mean, like I said, reading documents on Zoom presentations can sometimes be a little bit whatever, but I just want you guys to know that this is kind of the core of who we are as a company. We embody those. We invite you to embody those same values and principles. Those are not just, it's not just a corporate mission. That's for all of us to really rally behind. A couple of things that I would probably step in and just elaborate on. I love that we all are shared owners in this opportunity. As a publicly traded company, we all have the opportunity to own the company we represent. Very few network marketing opportunities out there can you say that I actually am an owner of the company, and have the type of voice and say in what is happening with your company. I think that that's a tremendous opportunity, and I have loved watching Brent be very generous with the ownership. Can I just share a personal story? And this is actually very much a true story. When Miranda was acquired by NewAge, Brent bought the company from our ownership team, our founders. You know, and on the corporate side, I don't know if you guys have ever had corporate jobs, but when there's mergers and acquisitions, usually employees are very skittish and nervous because usually it's quickly followed up by layoffs. And unfortunately that happens in a lot of companies. There were, you know, some changes and some layoffs that happened with our company after the merger. But I tell you, the day I found out that we were acquired by NewAge, it was a shock to me. I wasn't surprised, but I didn't know. I found out actually it was my employees that told me. And so if you ever feel like, oh man, my downline found out about something before I did, I had that moment, by the way. My employees came to me and said, Dan, we just got bought out by a company. That's okay. I was in a meeting and I started looking and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess this is happening. So I had to quickly gather my employees this was all kind of happening in real time, and gather them together. And as the leader of that group, I thought, okay, what would I want to hear if I was in their position? Okay, guys, everything's fine. This is just a regular business day. You know, you kind of go through some of the cliches. Let's get back to work. Let's stay on task. I tell you what, as you just put your head down and work, and it's going to work out for all of us. But I really didn't know, because in that moment, nobody had talked to me and said, hey, Dan, everything's going to be fine. Just kind of giving them my 2 cents. But just reassuring them as best I could as their leader. We met with Brent that afternoon, and then the next day, and got to meet him, and it was great. The very next day, HR starts walking around the building, handing out envelopes. And so here's the very next day, less than 24 hours that I had told my team, like, hey, everything's going to be fine. Now HR is handing out envelopes. And I thought, oh man, this is how it ends. You know, I just had one of those moments where I'm like, oh, okay, great. Opened up, I got my envelope. I opened it up, and do you know what was in it? Stock options. They went around and offered ownership to every single employee. And I thought, oh my gosh, I was the collective sigh. I didn't even, to be honest with you guys, I didn't even know what a stock option was. I was just happy it wasn't a pink slip, because I thought that's what was happening. But they gave ownership. And to be collectively bought into this direction that we're going as a company, that was huge. That was a huge thing for me. And I know that it's a huge thing for all of us on the field side, as we have opened up that ownership opportunity to you as well. And anytime that there is that opportunity to get options, take it. It's for nothing else, just to have that belief that I'm an owner and I have a say and this is my company. It changes your mindset entirely. The other one is I love embracing diversity. I think it's probably a shared thing that the United States and probably those of you in South Africa and other countries in Africa, we kind of share this. A lot of countries aren't as diverse as our countries and continent. I should really refer to Africa as a continent, but our situations are very unique to largely the rest of the world, and that is we live in a very diverse culture and a diverse reality. And I love that we have something that is for everyone, and we are so willing to work with anybody from any country, from any culture, any background, ethnicity, religion, all of those different things that are very divisive today. And it saddens me that they are divisive, but the world we live in is a very divisive world. We are not that. We want to welcome all, and I love that he actually put the qualification on there. Not everybody, but all good people. We want to welcome all good people to our company and have a place for them. And I love that. You guys, I'm so proud to be part of this operation and be part of this company, to be able to work with you and to work with the leaders that are in our blended family. I know that this is a South African and African call, but as a US general sales manager, I feel like it's my obligation to say that, and I give this message to everybody, we have a lot of your countrymen and women here in the United States. I would invite you to reach out to them and also build here in the United States. The beautiful thing about building here in the United States is we have basically everything is open. All products are open. All resources are open here. It seems like oftentimes we go into the unknown and the unknown markets that aren't opened up. Even those of you who are trying to expand into Nigeria, I did a training a while back, and I gave some statistic based on the US Census. of how many Nigerian Americans there are in the United States, there's a plentiful number of people here that you could build with here in the United States. Self-serving that I make that plug for myself because they pay me to build the United States market. But for those of you who are international, it's not just Americans building internationally in your company. I invite you to build internationally in our country as well. Okay. So with that, I don't know if I'm going to just turn the time back over to Erika and Tammy. If you guys have any questions, if you want to pepper me with questions right now, that was kind of what I wanted to share with everybody.
Awesome. Erika, do you have a question? First of all, Dan, thank you. And I have to tell you, those 5 points are so spot on that I have worked for amazing companies and organizations and leaders, but I've never read anything like that. I am like, that was incredible. And more than just reading the words, we've experienced the truth of it, that our leadership, our corporate leadership really does come alongside and making the reps first. And so I don't know, I do have a question, but Erika, is something pressing on your mind?
Well, thank you for that, Dan. And it is wonderful to meet you. And I look forward to many more encounters with you. And thank you for everything. Guys, you might be listening to all of these values and you might wonder, well, I just started in this company. I just launched my business. How is that applicable to me? Well, I just want to encourage you with this. If you think of your own life and you think of your own set of values, just take a few minutes and reflect on how your own value system impacts your day-to-day living in a 24-hour period. It controls the way that you think, which controls the way that you speak, and it can alter the way that you behave. That is the power of a value. And if you haven't taken the moment to even dissect your own value system, I want to encourage you to do this because that will influence the way you do business. So when I got my hands on this document, Dan, I scrutinized it because it's important to me. And I was so excited by the fact that I can align myself and align my own value system with what NewAge is bringing to the table, which is ideally where you want to be as a business owner. So for those of you back in Africa, I've already distributed the sheet, the paper, the PDF, print it out and put it in your office space. And I want you to remind yourself that this is the way we do business. This is what we align ourselves to every day. And if you are tempted to step out of line, be reminded that you are going to be held accountable for that, right? It's important for you to have a framework, an ethical and a business framework for yourself on how to deal with your day-to-day business activities. So I want you to get a hold of the fact that this is NewAge. Tam, that excites me, that this is what I'm busy with, right? It's extremely exciting for me because every one of those values I can confidently carry over to who I meet with and interact with, and it is going to stand forever, right? And so, Dan, thanks for that. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to this guy's heart and what he shared. It really is a new era and it really is a new age. Tam, I'm going to hand it over to you.
So I love that. Thank you, Erika. And pressing in my mind goes back to a person that's sitting and listening to this, and they are in South Africa or Nigeria, but particularly South Africa right now, the countries, Namibia, Botswana, all the countries within the South African cone. And we are launching soon. And Dan, you know what happens when people are waiting for something? They pause and they say, well, let's just see let's just see what it'll be. It's the worst thing you can do. The best thing you can do is massive action. It's to take action. So what would you say to, and I know you've already said this to your reps in the merge, what would you say to our brand partners? What should they be doing right now as they are waiting for the final word of the products being launched and the compensation being launched and everything in South Africa? What's the mindset? What do they need to be doing?
Well, I think the word that I didn't like that you used in that, Tammy, was the word waiting. And I think that that's one of the traps that we fall into. And I've seen a lot of it where, a lot of people will say, okay, for my own integrity's sake, I don't want to do this until I have all of the information or everything's out, because I just don't want to take that leap of faith and start building and have it all just blow up in my face. When we're talking about a race and we're talking, I'm a runner my background is in athletics. I was a runner. I'm a nerdy cross country distance runner. I can't imagine trying to do a race, whether it's a 5K, a 10K, a marathon, a half marathon, or whatever those things, waiting until the gun shoots to start the race to start running. It would be a terrible idea to try and approach a race with that mindset. There's always things that you should be doing in preparation for the race to begin. Whether that is working on, in network marketing terms, you can do all of these there's such an art and science to a pre-launch of getting people ready, getting them lined up, getting them enthused, and going after and getting things ready for that launch, as opposed to taking the wait and see. Wait and see is going to get you nothing in the end. You're going to be so far behind, and then you'll be frustrated that everybody else around you'll look at them, and to steal a line from Mark Wilson, you'll be calling everybody else lucky. Well, they weren't really lucky. They were actually doing work before this all started off. My thing for you is, and kind of answer that question, Tammy, in a very long roundabout way, is begin, start now. Don't wait a second longer to start prepping for that launch. There are areas of focus that you can do now to build your business. Like I said, I believe that we are open in South Africa. Or are we still waiting to launch? Is it just on the cusp?
We are open in South Africa with the RX products, okay. But really excited that it's going to be the products by Africans for Africa, made in Africa, the price point, all the good things that have been created.
I would start with what is currently out there offered and keep building with that as a pre-launch to what's coming in September. I think it's September, right? And so don't hesitate. Don't wait for.
We don't know the date. We don't know the date, but we hope it's coming sooner than that.
Okay. I need to zip my mouth because I actually don't know. I think for some reason I heard something somewhere and I'm probably saying the wrong date. So whatever date I just said, sorry, I am so integrated into the US that I really.
I know you were. It's good.
Whenever that does, sorry for that. But whenever that date is, start now. Start building now. Start building with what you have, and lift where you stand. I love that phrase. Lift where you stand. Don't run around to other places where it's a big unknown. You know what's around you. Start there. Start lifting in that little area, and then expand out from there.
Love that.
Would be my advice.
Lift where you stand. Boy, that is a powerful word picture, and it's so practical because we can, wherever we are, we have the ability to influence people and lift them up and encourage them through this opportunity to pre-launch and to lock in their spots right now. And we know the integrity of this company. They won't launch it till it's ready to be launched. I cannot tell you how important I always say it's like having a baby. You don't want that baby before that baby's ready to be born. And though you talk to any mother at 9 months pregnant, she's like, holy buckets, am I ready for that baby to be born? But those last 4 weeks or those last trimester or whatever it is essential to birth a healthy life. And that's what we're doing. We're birthing the life of NewAge in South Africa and all over Africa. And so we really appreciate that, Dan. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for encouraging our team. and lift where you stand and pay it forward. Find someone today, make the decision, start today. As I say, start simply, but simply start. Continue to press on, open mouth, open store. You have the opportunity to share what is coming on a ground level to South Africa. And we have the hope. You are a dealer in hope every day. That's who you are. You are dealing hope to people. And so thank you so much for your time. Dan, thank you so much for being with us. Erika, anything else?
Yeah, I just want to say for all the new brand partners listening to this Zoom or this recording, I want to encourage you with the following. You sell the who first. So if we're talking sales, speak to people about NewAge. Speak to them about the leaders of the company. Show them what's going on in other parts of the world. Get them excited about who they are. And follow Corporate Africa. Follow NewAge Corporate Africa. There is a hype campaign at the moment running. I don't want you to miss out on that. Make sure that you have your link and make sure that you pass your link to everybody in your downline. Make sure that you align yourself with what Craig and Jared and the rest of the team is putting out there. Make sure you are on all the social media pages. And I want to encourage you, if you are not on social media yet, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness, please open up a Facebook account, open up an Instagram, Twitter, whatever speaks to you, but start preparing for becoming part of the world's #1 social selling machine. That is what you need to be doing. Instead of being too anxious about when is what going to happen, I want to encourage you, focus on what is happening today. Tomorrow will take care of itself. We are in the hands of a corporate team that knows what they are doing. So follow them, follow their leadership, and start selling the tools that they give you. Start using that and get the word out there. So Tam, I just wanted to emphasize that it really is not a time for passivity, right, Tammy? It's really time to focus. And I wrote this down, Dan. Lift where you stand. I think that's a Facebook post for me today. So thanks for sharing that.
Love it.
Okay.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining. Have a wonderful, beautiful evening. Stay safe and healthy in South Africa. We will see you all on Thursday for our prospecting Zoom. Get with your upline to get that information. I know Nick Papas has a Zoom, I believe, tomorrow as well. And he will send out that information. But we are giving you lots of opportunity to plug in and stay connected, stay encouraged, stay focused on the vision. And thank you so much for joining us. Everyone have a beautiful evening. Good night.